Okay guys, so you may have noticed here on this video I was playing some of the same riffs from the first video, but I did them over a different backing track. That's because you could use these phrases over all kinds of backing tracks as long as they're in the right key. So in the key of A, I don't have to change the phrase. I'll change maybe the way I say the phrase or the way I play the phrase based on the rhythm of the new track, or maybe some of the chords behind me, but I'm still playing the same phrases, so you can get a lot of mileage out of these phrases. So let's look in a little bit of detail about how I play these phrases in the key of A. First off, I want to go over the scales real quickly that I'm playing. I'm playing the A minor pentatonic scales. So I'm going to start with the 5th fret on the 6th string and play the 5th fret. Then I'm going to play 3, 5, 7 on the 5th string, 5, 7 on both the middle 2 strings, and 5, 8 on the first 2 strings. You can play it forward or backward. The second fingering of this particular scale is exactly the same, but once I get to the 3rd string, I'm going to be doing 5, 7, 9. Then I'll play 8, 10 on the first 2 strings. 8, 10, 8, 10. So it'll be... Same exact scale, I'm just moving where I'm playing some of the notes on the top end of it. Okay, so for our intro one there, we're actually playing a unison bend. We're going to be holding the 5th fret on the 2nd string and the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, bending a full step. I should mention here, if you're not familiar with bends, stop the video here. We'll have a link below to my bends video talking in detail about how to do bends. We're not really going to focus on that here today. We're using the ability to play bends, so if you don't have that yet, make sure you study the bends video first. All right, so we're going to do a full step bend, 5 to 7 on the 2nd and 3rd string. I'm going to be picking the 3rd string as I'm releasing the bend, so it'll be... really cool sound as you hear that note change. Then I'm going to play the 7 to the 5 on the 3rd string with a pull off. And then 7 to 5, back to 7 on the 4th string. And vibrato at the end of it. So that whole riff is... very cool sounding. Next phrase, we're going to slide up to the 8th fret on the 2nd string, then play the 8th fret on the 1st string with a pull off to the 5, like this. Finishing off that riff with 8 on the 2nd string, 5 on the 1st string, 8 on the 2nd string again, with a full bend. So slow. Might notice I'm using the palm of my hand here to touch some of my other strings on the guitar to keep those notes quiet because I'm bending. I could hit them and I want them to be quiet. I don't want to hear that kind of a sound. All right, so that riff fast is... All right, the next phrase here in A minor is going to be the 7th fret on the 2nd and 3rd string. Full bend, both those notes together, and then release. Very cool sound. Then I'm going to go to the 5s on the 2nd and 3rd string with a slide, individually first, then hit them both together, and end with the 7 on the 4th string. So it's... very cool sound. All right, so now we're on the 10th measure. We're going to be going through a video with a palm mute where I'm using the heel of my hand to touch the strings in front of the bridge so it sounds like this. And it chokes off the sound. If I don't use a palm mute, it would sound like this. Still very cool and valid. We could do it that way, but I wanted to show you both ways. So use a palm mute if you want. Don't use a palm mute if you don't want it. We're playing the 5th to 7th fret on the 5th string, the 4th string, and the 5 on the 3rd string, and then 5 or 7, 5 on the 4, ending with 7 on the 4. So slowly it's... And you could actually play that same phrase over 2 or 3 chords as the chords change. Just keep playing the same phrase. It'll sound really cool. So again, with or without palm muting. Next riff, a little bit more complicated, lots of slides and hammer-ons here. We're going to start with the 7th fret of the 3rd string, sliding to the 9, and then 8, 10, 8 with a hammer and a pull on the 2nd string, back to the 9 on the 3rd string, then 8, 10 hammer on the 2nd, and and then finally playing the 8th fret on the 1st string and 10th fret on the 2nd string again, vibrato. So slowly it's 10th fret bend on the 1st string, full step, return to pitch, play the 8, then 2 10s on the 2nd string. So that whole riff together. Really good riff there. I like that. Try that over different sections of the backing track. Sounds really cool. All right, now we're going to go 7th fret on the 3rd string to the 9th fret and play back and forth between the 9th fret on the 3rd string, 8th fret on the 2nd string like this. That 9th fret on the 3rd string, we're going to slide down to the 7th fret, pull off to the 5th like this. And then 7th fret on the 4th string, 5th fret on the 3rd string. The last riff I have here starts with an A5. We're going to be playing the A5 chord, 2nd fret on the middle 2 strings, open 5th string, hit it twice, and then 5 to 7 on the 5th string, and 5th fret on the 4, and ending up with the 7th fret on the 5th, and then 5 7 on the 4. So it's because we're starting this riff with a chord, an A5, that may not always match what chord is being struck on the backing track, so we might need to move that chord to either a D or an E in the key of A. So maybe I'll start with A and then go to D and E like this. Just so it matches the backing track. These are really fun riffs to play. You can play them over any backing tracks, not just the ones that I have listed here. I have a couple of them in the comment section down below, right below the comments. You'll see these. You can click on them and you can play over the backing tracks I've listed for you here. Or you can try them over any backing tracks that are in the key of A minor. Just on YouTube, search A minor backing tracks. You can also include the words blues or rock and get some different ones, maybe even jazz. See what you think about these. Learn them slow at your own pace using our looping functions here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Trent. Comments in the section below. I'll see you next time.